Hello everybody and welcome back to this world map we have here. And you'll notice, well, here's the political map. I've created a new little map mode displaying religions, major religions. So I'm going to go over each of them now. This is kind of the Breton British religion here. It kind of sprouted from here and expanded up to here, and even in these colonies up here. This is the Germanic religion, shared by all these Germanic tribes and part of the northern part of this country, which we'll get back to later. There's the Iberian religion, which is kind of prevalent in Africa, and more prevalent in Africa is the Cyan religion, which is even in parts of the Mediterranean, and it's easily the largest religion. Probably not in population. I think that's the red religion here, which is encompassing most of France and Italy and Dalmatia. Anyways, in the Balkans, we have the Greek religion, which is diminishing in size every day. I think I'm actually going to make part of this the Greek religion, like right there. And even Cyprus will be Greek. And this country is split in two between the kind of Israeli Arabic religion and the Greek religion, which is troublesome. A lot of these tribes up here, because this is a tribal religion, follow this green religion, which is going to make predominantly green religion countries very capable at invading this area or conquesting it. Who cares? Anyways, the Arabian religion is easily, probably, I think this one's the largest actually. They encompass a very large territory, even in the Horn of Africa, and a lot of colonies over here follow it too. I'm going to make this 100% opacity so you can kind of see it better about the borders. However, a lot of colonists have kind of adapted their religions over here, even parts of this religion we'll get to in a second. And there's a Southeast Asian religion and the Chinese religion, which I think I'm actually going to dig into this China a little bit more. Only a small pocket of South China is going to feature this Southeast Asian religion, which I might just start referring to as the Asian religion. I'm also going to connect these two. It doesn't exactly have to be owned by any country to be religious. There's tribal religions and whatnot. They also kind of spread the religion here for the tribal lands to connect up with colonies. Yeah. So this is the religion map of the world. Keep it in mind, because a lot of bad things are going to happen with this religion, because we're starting to approach the Middle Ages, Dark Ages, basically, the barbarian era in our time, after fall of Rome. In this case, two empires actually fell, which were the Greek Empire, which has seen better days, and the Venusian Empire over here, which collapsed into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, if I recall correctly. Yeah, Greece has seen better days, definitely. Anywho, where we're going to begin is this country right here, because they are having religious problems. They are split into 4 different religion groups, and these religion groups are going to seek self-determination. This country itself is predominantly Germanic religion, which is going to cause some problems because the capital is not Germanic. So it's going to split into a few pieces. Mostly this part here is going to break. Okay, I'm using the wrong. Did I just? Yeah. Okay. Okay. This part here is going to break away into the Germanic religion, basically following the map as close as I can get it. And it's going to join up with the northern nation right here, who it just won its independence from, for sure. Or is it the other way around? I forgot. I haven't caught up with my own lore. So there's this nice little spike in here. And don't worry, this country is not going to get off easy at the end of this episode. Anyways, over here, a new country is going to begin. And I think I'm going to make them towards this village. They're going to be this dark red. So there's this dark red nation right here. I'll place its capital in a second. And another country is going to break off, and this government here is basically going to collapse. They are not doing too good because they're a Germanic nation. And actually, I think I'm going to undo what I just did over here. Give them a little bit of their land back, because this is where they're going to escape to after the inevitable downfall of their miniature empire. So this part right here, the Greek part, is going to break away into its own nation. It's actually encompassing a much larger area. Actually, I'm going to make these two nations. That'll cause religious unity, I think. I was going to say problems, but they're actually the same religion, so hopefully they'll get along. Delete their capital, it's going to be a new place. Okay, that is not right. Okay, not good for these guys. And one final nation is going to form, about right here in the east, from the green Slavic religion. And that's, oh yeah, that is correct. Okay. Yeah. So, this southern nation here, the southern, what would they be? Kind of Hungarian nation, has collapsed completely into religious disunity. And they're going to be fighting each other a lot in these following years and try to spread their religion. So, most of their capitals are going to be smack dab in the middle, maybe along the river. But these guys are going to put theirs up here because they're smart. We'll see who wins that. Anyways, what other countries are very disunited in unity or religion? Oh yeah, this country here. By the way, this alliance here has broken. It's been broken for a while. They didn't really feel a need to keep it together after they all became super duper powerful, and now they're kind of the emperors of the East, which is going to cause many, many problems. Specifically this one, which is split into two religiously by the Israeli. It starts in Israel, and this religion here is not good with this religion. They are very historically hostile religions, and that's going to cause some problems. Because now this country is going to split into two into all-out civil war. Isn't that fun? I think I'm going to change to hue. Yeah. So they're going to go along the lines for the most part. Yeah. There's things that are going to work around the coasts. It will be good. Alright, so this new nation has broken away in the east, but that's going to cause problems, and this nation is not going to accept it. They're going to attack. They're going to attack hard, and they're going to immediately start invading to push away the rebels. Okay, that's the wrong layer. Awesome. Just cool. They're going to invade to stop the rebels because they want to keep their country whole because they've been through a lot. But it's not going to work out too well for them because these rebels may be getting support from other nations. And this nation's also getting a little bit of support from Achaea over here. Is that what I should call it? Achaea? Because it's the agency. Agency? Huh? I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, with their newfound military support, a lot of expeditionary forces, they're going to push back and ultimately take the capital. Anyways, this country is finally going to slow down their aggressiveness after a while, but they're going to keep occupying this. A peace treaty is never signed, at least for a while. And while they're doing that, they're going to convert. Okay, they're going to convert a lot of land, specifically the capital region, which was quite simple actually. And a lot more of this territory over here is going to be converted until ultimately they've converted all of it to the Arabian religion. Huh. That's not good for the Greeks. Their religion is slowly getting smaller and smaller. Anyways, finally a peace treaty is signed between the and this nation receives their capital. This nation receives their capital back. However, it is a little bit rebellious, and the rest of this remains under control of the new color team. I can't decipher. Dark magenta, sort of. I just hit my mic. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Is there any nation color like this one? No, not really. Okay, not good for these guys. And Egypt's not going to get off too easy either, because they also have a pocket of Greek religion. And now it's going to be kind of good for the Greeks, because they are going to receive all of this territory out here. Right? They're actually going to they're going to draw it quite crappily, like that. Yeah. So imagine being good with borders. Couldn't be me. And couldn't be the Greeks either. Okay, so this new nation formed, but Egypt, they don't really care. They just acquired this land, and they're willing to let it go. So this new nation is created, and they do a lot of conversions along here, slowly converting all the cyan territory into their own, until ultimately they've basically converted it all. They didn't actually circle it. They didn't actually encircle it. They kind of went downwards and upwards. But this entire nation has been united under Greek religion, which is good for the Greeks. Not really. There's not much here. Anyways, these two are going to be very close in due time. And this new nation's capital is going to be right here, I think. That's like modern day Benghazi, I think. Anyways, this new nation is, well, not new, pretty old for this series at least. They're going to explore more around this river, and they're going to take over this entire area around the Gambia. I believe that's what this river is, the Gambia River. Anyways, they fill in this entire area, and they kind of stop, and they start sailing, and they discover Cape Verde, and they go around this river. Okay. And they are becoming a very large power. They are not being stopped by anybody because it's basically free land. Nobody cares about it. A lot of this eastern territory is Sahara Desert. There's Guinea over here, which is pretty full of rainforest, I'm pretty sure, last time I checked. It is in Europa Universalis War. Also, these islands out here are discovered by this very explorer-led nation. Anyways, now that they've grown so large, they are Sicily is no longer the emperor. I just stuttered over my word so hard there. Sicily is no longer the emperor. I'm just going to erase the ding star. And the new emperor is these guys, because they have so much territory and so many colonies, and they're much more suitable of an emperor. So these guys are the new emperor, which is good for them, because they have a lot of territory, and that's a lot of new imperial territory, which is slowly going to be converted to the Cyan religion. Okay, I'm using the wrong map mode. Cool. They're slowly going to convert these tribes to their own religion, except for some tribes down here, which decide, nope, we're not going to accept your religion. And they will they're kind of along this river here, the Gambia, and along the coast here. And that's going to cause some problems in the future. They also have tribal land over here. Because tribes are also becoming a problem now, because they're growing kind of advanced compared to the other nations, at least. Anyways, a few years later, we cut to this dark green nation, good old green, and they've made some large expansions into tribal territory because they kind of just take it because the tribes people, they love them. However, some more problems are happening. Another tribal religion is rising up in the east here in Caucasia, kind of like a mountain religion of sorts. I'm going to use a dark fuchsia. Yeah, this mountain religion is very popular in Caucasia and even dips into other nations' territories outside of the Green Nation, and this is also going to cause some problems in the future. It's almost at the capital of this nation, which is not good. Anyways, Germany. Germany is going to attack a nation. Can you guess who it is? You have a few seconds. Bingo. They're going to attack. They're going to go over the river and attack this nation right here because they want to steal more of the coast and become a more prevalent trade power. I also just realized I never deleted the capital of this country, which I don't think exists anymore anywhere. Yeah, the Germans are going to attack over the river to get to this country. However, what has also happened, unbeknownst to the Germans, is a kind of alliance union thing happening. It's a religious alliance. Over here, over here in the red, a large French alliance is being created. Okay, I don't know why that's happening. That's strange. So this large alliance right here is created between the three of these. And what am I going to use to symbolize this? This kind of a 4-point star, right, resembles a kind of holy alliance, which basically means they only attack infidels and they only defend against infidels. And the Germans happen to be infidels. Also, I'm going to add emblems to all the alliances because it's cool. This is a regular old alliance, which basically is just this thunderbolt here because they attack anybody and they defend against anybody. They don't discriminate. This is a empire, which is basically one emperor has to defend any member that gets attacked, but the members can attack each other, which is going to cause problems in the future. And there's no other alliances I have to worry about. Oh yeah, this alliance right here. This is a this is kind of a what can I use to resemble this? A pentagon. Yeah. Okay. Let's just so this pentagon here flipped over. It's a shield now. That represents a defensive alliance, which is just if one of us is attacked, all of us are attacked. Very poetic. Anyways, this Holy Alliance is formed between these three French nations, and now they're going to bring an offensive to Germany. Where have I seen that happen before? French invading Germany after Germany invades France. So they easily blow through here because the Germans weren't really expecting it. However, the Germans have already crossed the river and taken a large portion of territory of this French nation. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. Boom. Okay, you're just messing with me. Cool. Cool, I need to stop using the pencil tool for invasions, but it's so much cleaner. However, they are they are invading, and they finally realize that they're being invaded by this Holy Alliance, and they finally start retaliating by pushing in here, but they are kind of stopped. And I probably should have cloned the political map before this, because this is going to be a kind of long war. Reinforcements from down south here have finally arrived, and they're going to start pushing back against the aggression of the Germans. And oh my god, what is wrong with my mouse? It's doing this again. I lost my mind in one of these videos because my mouse keeps doing this where it keeps middle clicking. See? And when you middle click while you're using the brush, it pulls out the hand tool. Anyway, please. I'm just trying to record. So, their aggression is being rolled back very fast. However, this German nation is going to create their own alliance, another holy alliance, between guess who? Yes, they're going to create it between them and the Swedes. It's a holy alliance, so they can attack infidels, and they happen to be at war with infidels, so they're going to attack said infidels. I just said that word a lot. So they begin attacking. They begin attacking with new troops that have just arrived, and they finally kick them back to the Rhine. A lot of people are killed right here in encirclement. So they're finally kicked back over the Rhine, and there's a lot of war happening over the Rhine. A lot of rocks are being thrown, a lot of swords are being thrown, a lot of bombs are being thrown, because I'm pretty sure grenades are a thing by now. Or no, gunpowder hasn't been discovered yet. That's still boiling over there. But I think explosives are kind of a thing, and they're kind of being used. Anyways, they start finally pushing over the Rhine and being aggressive again, as this is a aggressive war with the Germans. And they start pushing again. And they finally make a large landfall in Picardy over here, northern France, and they start surrounding the capital of this northern French nation. However, another nation, actually two, have just joined this French alliance. That's going to be this kind of Provence nation, and the Holy Defender, Venice, the birthplace of this religion. Okay, so that's happening, and the Germans are not excited because they are being mass invaded from the south by all the. Okay. They're being mass invaded by the south in Italy by Venice. Ignore that, they didn't actually take that. And the Venusians are taking a lot of territory from the Germans, which is not good. Not good. And slowly but surely, they're pushing up to this capital city right here, and they start sieging it, which is not great. They're finally kicked out of Picardy for the most part, and pushed back to the Rhine over here in central France. And finally, the capital of the Germans are taken, and they kind of just sprout from here and destroy everything, burn a lot of towns, villages, whatnot. And ultimately, the Germans do surrender. They didn't really. Sweden kind of left the war after a while. The alliance disbanded immediately because it didn't help them a lot. However, Sweden was let off easy in the peace deal, which we're about to take a look at after I undo all of this. Yep. Kind of take a look at how the war was going while this is re-rolling. It's going to take a while. Enjoy it while it lasts. I believe if we just kind of do this, because I don't want to delete the alliances. Yeah, this is basically how it was. Gotta destroy this alliance too, because there's no need for it anymore. Anyways, they won. They won pretty easily, and the alliance is going to disband now because it's no longer needed, because there's no more war, no more infidel war. This nation in northern France is going to take a significant portion of the Benelux. Okay, that looks terrible. I'm going to fix it. This nation right here doesn't take any territory. Instead, they focus on German disestablishment, and Venice will take a large portion of southern Germany. Nice. So Venice is kind of waning their aggression to a different area this time. This nation is the same. And now Germany is going to be kind of dismantled for the most part into a lot of new nations, specifically this one in the north. Wow, very nice. This gray nation. Okay, that's still an alliances layer. I did not double click that. Thank you for asking. So this large nation here is created. Also, some territory is given back to other nations that kind of claimed to kind of make some peace between these two because everybody appreciates a little bit of land. Anyways, Bavaria is being created in the south here, but it's not actually Bavaria. It's got a very different culture and significance. And Germany is not looking too good. And another nation is going to be created right down here in the south, I guess. Just so it doesn't look completely terrible. And it's going to be this southern German nation. Wow, not a good day for the Germans. They lost the first war so far, the Holy War of all time. This nation is going to put the capital here. This kind of a triple system of capitals is right here. Actually, they're going to put their capital in the former capital of that country. These guys are going to put theirs like in the middle here. These guys are going to put theirs like right there. I don't remember where this country's capital was before that. I think it was here. I'm not sure. Because this country used to encompass all this area here until it got demolished by a bunch of nations, which is not good for it. Anyways, Germany's collapsed, as per usual. Anyways, things are happening in Britain. Scotland is invading this nation down here. Did I just... Wait, did I... Okay, I drew that on the political map. I thought I drew all those German nations on the non-political map. Scotland is invading this nation here, and they have large success, and they ultimately take all this territory over here. Conclusion reached. I kind of have to rush this because I am tired. They're going to take all this territory in the east and completely cut this nation off from the east coast of Britain. Not good for them. Oh yeah, and they got invaded from the south. Cool. Oh. Anywho, these Bretons kind of clean up their border over here. What's that? That's part of an alliance that I didn't delete. And that's not supposed to be there. Sorry, I had to take a pause for a moment. Anyways, religion has caused a lot of wars so far, and there's going to be one more war taking place, and it's kind of a schism of sorts. So you'll notice that these five nations are very loyal to the red religion. There's a lot of other nations that are not, specifically these ones over here. And it's not a war, really, it's more of a mild conflict. And it's going to cause a lot of border shifts and a lot of religion changes. Specifically, a new religion is going to be created in the south here. What color is this going to be? It's going to be dark purple because they're darker purple. Yes, that's not supposed to happen. So this new dark purple religion is created. They kind of expand the religious borders. And it's going to be along here. There's also going to be a lot of religious disunity over here, which is going to create more of the dark red religion over here. And the red religion has now been split into two churches of sorts. Not sure if they're going to be churches. It could be different systems. And the dark red religion has been created. I kind of don't like it. It's a different color. Okay, we'll gonna we're gonna make it just fully opaque. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, this dark red religion has been created. However, there's going to be some border shifts because I skipped this because it's a very long process. There were a lot of religious conflicts between these nations, specifically this nation, which lost a lot of land to both of these nations while they tried to find out what religion they were going to follow. They got cut up a little bit, and a lot of nations took control of it, and it's a lot smaller now, even more of a city-state. There was also a small war between these two, more of a border conflict of sorts. Of course, the Venusians won, and they took a lot of territory out here. Anyways, down here, some more religious wars happened, specifically between these three right here, green, blue, and red. And the blues won by a landslide, and they took a lot of modern-day Genoa, or medieval Genoa, and a little bit more at that. And they even took all of Corsica. Very lucky, because Corsica is dark red. Okay, so this Tuscan nation has expanded a bunch. Nothing really happened over here because these guys are all on the same side. Anyways, these guys lost to the dark red, and they lost a large portion of their territories down here in the boot of Italy. Okay, so a lot of border shifts and power shifts at that, and even the Cyan religion was included in this, and this is going to cause even more problems later. But now I think it's a good point to leave off this video because it is getting late. Anyways, see you later. Bye.